walking through 5 productivity hacks that I absolutely use and that I swear by. Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I just showed you all my productive morning routine. My goal is to get back on track and to truly boost my productivity. Just about summer, which means that I'm gonna have my kids home full time with me, and I wanna be my best self and the best version I can be for them. So I wanna make sure that I'm up, ready, and fully reset and ready to tackle the day just to give them that best version of myself. I always feel so much better waking up like this at a way earlier time, giving myself at least an hour and a half to get myself reset prior to getting my kids up for the day versus scrambling to get myself and then my kids up and rushing out the door. Plus, we're in Texas and the day's already getting super hot, so in order to beat the heat, we gotta get ourselves up early. Today I'm going to be walking you through a productive day in my life and also giving you about 5 productivity hacks that I try to implement in my everyday life. I have a couple things I need to get done this morning before I actually start giving the productivity hacks, so let's go get those done. Now let's dive in to my 5 productivity hacks that I've integrated into my life post-employment. When I was facing my layoff, my biggest concern was I'm someone who needs a little bit more structure to my day, which helped working a 9 to 5. However, some of my biggest concerns and questions left me wondering, how am I going to fill my day? How am I going to stay productive throughout my day? How can I make the most impact out of the time that I have? Tip number 1 as my productivity hack is have a checklist. Have some sort of a to-do list, something to help hold you accountable and to help prioritize your day. This is something that helps me keep my day structured, as I'm typically completing my to-do list the night before. That way I can wake up in the right headspace, knowing that I have plenty of time for myself, and then I can start hitting those tasks because I feel refreshed enough to do those things. And if you're someone who likes to do things right on the spot, that's perfectly fine. Just know that having this to-do list is going to keep you right on track. Today is a little bit busier of a day for me, so I kind of left just a very light to-do list simply because my kids have after-school activities, so I know that my time for today is going to be very limited on getting things done. Taking things off of this to-do list specifically, it just helps remind me that this is a season of my life that I've personally prayed for, and at one point I was just wishing to have this type of a desire, meaning I wanted to be that stay-at-home, work-from-home mom and being able to devote all my time to my household, my children, my fiance, etc. It also helps me remember that I am making a huge impact on our household and my mental health. It also just feels really good to me personally to know that I'm spending my time doing something very intentionally. My second productivity hack for everyone is time blocking. This is something that has been an absolute game changer for me and my family. Because I do my to-do list the night before, I've prioritized my tasks from doing the more daunting tasks first thing in the morning to the least heavy task in the afternoon. Typically, I don't like to be doing any of my tasks past like 2 p.m. Because I've blocked out the time for myself specifically in the morning, I make it a point to help get myself refreshed and woken up before my kids at least an hour and a half. I'm feeling much more refreshed to tackle these daunting tasks first thing in the morning rather than waiting until 5 p.m. and just dreading this task all day. I truly forget the name of this technique. However, this is something that I use in my day-to-day life, whether I was working my full-time job or now being a stay-at-home mom. Typically my sweet spot range is about 20 to 45 minutes, where I set that timer and then I sit down and I focus on that one task for the duration of that timer. Once that timer's up, then I get up and I do something that's kind of like rewarding myself. That helps make the task seem less daunting, gives me something to look forward to, and I'm not stressing myself out all day worrying about this task because I know that I have a designated time to sit down and get this done. And because we're at about the middle of the day, it's time for me to sit down and set a timer for about 40 minutes to get some editing done, and I'll show you some behind the scenes. My productivity hack number 3, and this is considerably my all-time favorite, is removing digital distractions, aka my phone, my computer, laptop, whatever it is. This is a time when I like to get outside and just completely remove all of those digital distractions. Putting my phone on work mode or do not disturb mode, mindfulness mode, whatever it is that you need, has drastically decreased my urge to sit and quote unquote, I guess, doom scroll. And this is something that I've actually personally been working on for the past probably year, where I just set aside time and I completely just leave my phone in a different room. After a year of practicing this, it's actually become an intentional time where I know that I've time blocked this specific amount of time to tackle that daunting task or to tackle something that I know that I need to get done. It's simply just decrease the need to reach for my phone, see what everyone else is doing. That ultimately ends up leading to the comparison game. I just put it down and I know that that time is set aside for my intentional work that I need to get done. In return, because of this productivity hack, I know that I am so much more intentional with my family time as well as the tasks that I've set down for the day. Productivity hack number 4 is cue the micro break. This one I am also a super huge fan of, just because I love to feel like I'm getting to reward myself for doing some of those daunting tasks, or even just checking off the smallest thing off my checklist. This is a hack that's actually super overlooked because we live in a culture where it's hustle culture. If you take a break, you're weak. No, that is not true. This is something that's completely overlooked, and that has dramatically changed the way I look forward to doing my tasks. As a super busy mom of middle-aged kids, I have found that finding about 25 minutes to set aside time is my sweet spot for getting to take a quick breather, reset my mind, refresh myself. That way I can look forward to the next task without feeling super overwhelmed. I'm using this 25 minutes to not only refresh myself, but do something that I genuinely love doing, whether that's getting myself a drink, ordering myself a drink, making myself a drink, getting outside, changing up the scenery of where I'm working, going on a quick walk, listening to a meditation. No matter what it is, I'm doing something that I genuinely love. And to be honest, before I started intentionally taking these micro breaks, I found myself that about every 3 days, I was seriously having a huge meltdown just from being so overwhelmed, so overstimulated, just simply because I was ignoring my body's needs, my mind's needs, telling me to just sit and silence my mind and refresh. Now, I realize that not every day can be planned down to a complete T. Some days my fiance is working late, some days my kids are just needing a little bit of extra mom time. Some days I'm having to solo parent, maybe for an evening or a couple days at a time. But if I know that I'm going to have a stretch like this where it might be a little bit more difficult to take a break, I make it a point to stop for a moment and think of something that would truly pick me up, and that's exactly what I do again. This micro break leaves me feeling so refreshed and like I can tackle the next thing with a fresh mind and a complete open heart. Now for my final productivity hack, tip number 5, batch tasking. This is a hack that I absolutely swear by, and it has saved me so much time. When I say batch tasking, I know that not every day can actually be planned down to a T, but I'm referring to specifically my morning and afternoon resets. I know I've talked about them in previous videos, but batching these tasks and setting aside that specific time has helped me get so much done. If you're a mom, you know the rush of your kids getting home from school, running and beelining straight to the fridge. They're just dropping their things here and there, pulling papers out. They're so excited to show you their artwork. They're grabbing all of the snacks, raiding the pantry, and you're just kind of sitting there like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to touch first? Then your mind starts wandering, thinking, oh my gosh, it's time, I need to start prepping dinner. Then we have to clean everything up, and it's time for bed, it's time for books, it's time for bath, it's all of it at once. Batching my tasks have drastically just saved my mental health so much. To combat that overwhelm of doing everything all at once, I started making it a necessity and a non-negotiable that I'm going to spend 20 minutes in the morning, preferably after school drop-offs, and then 20 minutes in the afternoon, once everyone's had a snack and everything's settled, where I sit and I focus on resetting the living space, the common space. And if I have any extra time or I'm feeling a little extra oomph in my step, then I go ahead and I tackle some laundry, or I pick a designated space that could use a little bit more of my attention. In the mornings, my morning resets look like I am unloading the dishwasher first and foremost, because I did a great job of resetting my kitchen the night before, so my dishes were ready to go. Then I'm able to put the kids' breakfast plates straight into the dishwasher, leaving me with a nice clean sink, clean counters. I'm going ahead and I'm putting in a single load of laundry, and I also try really hard the night before to go ahead and gather up all of those dirty clothes from the day before, and I just toss them into the laundry. That way that next morning I'm able to just throw in my detergent, hit the start button, and we're solid. And then anything else that I see laying around, whether that be extra books or toys or blankets that need to be folded, whatever it may be, I go ahead and I put those things back in the place that it belongs. And if it doesn't have a spot that belongs, I go ahead and I get rid of it. This is what helps keep my mindset in check, and it keeps me from feeling that super overwhelm. I know that I'm not going to have a million things piling up on me that's going to leave me hanging at the end of the night, scrambling to get by. I lived that life for years, especially struggling trying to balance everything with my full-time job. When I did have to work late, or if Austin had to work late, it was really tough. So this is just something that helps me make sure that my home feels more attainable. It ultimately leaves me knowing that I have a little bit more time to myself at the end of the day. So once my kids are asleep, I know that I've gone ahead and I've prepped everything that they're gonna need for school the next day, or an event, or what have you. And I'm able to sit down, write my to-do list for the next day, and then possibly watch some trash TV. And most importantly, this batch tasking keeps me from procrastinating on the things that I know I need to get done, whether it be errands, tidying up, or any videos that I need to sit down and edit. So there you have it. I've listed out my 5 productivity hacks that I absolutely swear by, and I use these all in my day-to-day life, as you can see from this video. I feel like if I shared any more with you, it would just make this video a little bit too long, so we're going to keep it at 5. Now for the rest of the evening, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get dinner started. I have to finish my reset for the kitchen, and we have about a 2-hour chair practice tonight, and then I'm hoping that at some point I'm gonna find time to edit some of this video and another one that I'm currently working on, but that's probably gonna be after we get our kids to bed. And we're gonna finish our day strong. I'll be sure to throw in a few more clips from the end of our day, including cheer practice and just getting to settle down for the night. Hopefully you liked this video, and if you found it useful and helpful, please give it a thumbs up so I know this is something that you like and potentially would like to see more of. And that is a complete wrap, and I will see you guys next time.